From our Toronto studios, this is the Muslim News on Muslim Network TV. Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aishah Ashraf. Our top story for today: the U.S. House Foreign Affairs Committee head has ordered staff to refer to the Israeli-occupied West Bank as Judea and Samaria. Committee Chairman Brian Mast sent the directive to 50 Republican staffers, citing America's unbreakable bond with Israel and the Jewish people's right to their ancient homeland. According to the Axios, the move aligns with Israel's recent efforts to replace West Bank with Judea and Samaria in official documents. Critics say the change signals support for Israeli annexation. Palestinian and Israeli left-wing groups warned that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government is pushing to extend Israeli law over the territory. Israeli ministers, including Netanyahu, have increasingly voiced intentions to annex the West Bank, which has been under Israeli occupation since 1967. Analysts say the decision by the U.S. committee reflects growing alignment with Israeli policies amid ongoing violence in the region. The Council on American Islamic Relations, or CAIR, has slammed an AI-generated video shared by President Donald Trump. The 33-second video posted on Truth Social opens with images of a war-torn Gaza labeled Gaza 2025 before transforming into a glittering metropolis. It portrays an imagined futuristic Gaza filled with skyscrapers, luxury cars, and golden Trump statues. It also features Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and billionaire Elon Musk celebrating under falling money. Scenes include Musk enjoying hummus, Netanyahu lounging poolside, and Trump drinking shirtless on a beach. CAIR condemned the video as a fantasy and urged Trump to focus on establishing a free and independent Palestinian state rather than sharing AI-generated content. The group reiterated its opposition to any U.S. occupation of Gaza. CAIR called the betrayal unrealistic and insensitive to the ongoing crisis in the region, where Israel has killed more than 62,000 Palestinians, mostly women and children. Dozens of people staged a Free Palestine protest in Brooklyn, New York City on Wednesday. During the demonstration, protesters chanted slogans and held banners and Palestinian flags. They also protested a planned pro-Israeli rally near the Islamic Society of Bay Ridge Mosque. Protesters held signs and chanted in support of the mosque. They condemned the pro-Israeli rally as an act of provocation. The Bay Ridge Mosque has been a community hub for years. Supporters say they stood in solidarity to protect it. Authorities monitored the protests to maintain peace. No major incidents were reported. Israel has released 46 Palestinian prisoners, including 24 children from Gaza, after a delay in verifying the bodies of 4 Israeli prisoners handed over by Hamas. Earlier, 456 Palestinians were freed, 97 deported to Egypt, 37 to the West Bank, and 5 to East Jerusalem. Palestinian sources confirmed that 37 prisoners reached Ramallah, while 5 arrived in East Jerusalem. 1 prisoner in a coma was rushed to a hospital in the West Bank. Doctors in Gaza report many released prisoners are severely emaciated, with some unable to walk due to alleged torture in Israeli custody. Hamas has completed the first phase of the truce deal, releasing 33 Israelis, including 8 bodies. Israeli estimates suggest 59 prisoners remain in Gaza, at least 20 of them alive. Their release would require Israel to withdraw its forces and end the war permanently under a second phase agreement. Despite the truce, Gaza hospitals report 17 Palestinians killed and 19 injured in the past 48 hours. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has sent a delegation to Cairo for further negotiations. The current phase of the truce is set to expire this weekend. The Palestinian Health Ministry has confirmed 62,000 Palestinian deaths in Israel's genocide in Gaza, while 111,780 people have been wounded. The government media office updated its death toll to at least 62,614, saying thousands of Palestinians missing under the rubble are presumed dead. A group of top actors, directors, and writers is urging the BBC to reinstate the documentary Gaza: How to Survive a War Zone on iPlayer. The film, aired on BBC Two on February 16th, was pulled 5 days later over concerns about the background of a participant. The BBC said it was not informed that the 14-year-old Abdullah al-Yazuri featured in the film is the son of a Hamas official. Celebrities like Gary Lineker, Riz Ahmed, and Miriam Margolyes signed an open letter calling the move politically motivated censorship. The letter, sent to BBC executives, argues the film offers a vital view of Palestinian children's experiences. More than 450 figures from the entertainment world have signed the petition in 24 hours. A separate letter from Jewish figures last week also urged the BBC to keep the film. The BBC has not confirmed if the documentary will be reinstated. Reuters, AP, and Bloomberg have warned against limiting media access to the White House, calling it a threat to free press. In a joint statement, the news agencies stressed that democracy depends on an independent media covering the government. They argued that restricting wire services from reporting on the president undermines this principle. The concern follows the White House's decision to control which journalists cover presidential events. This task was traditionally handled by the White House Correspondents Association, or WHCA. WHCA President Eugene Daniels condemned the move, saying it weakens press independence and allows the government to pick its own reporters. Toxic water crisis, millions at risk. Details come after the break. Stay tuned and we will be right back. Welcome back. Millions of Americans are exposed to contaminated tap water, a new report warns. Environmental Working Group analyzed data from nearly 50,000 water systems between 2021 and 2023. It found 324 harmful substances, including toxic chemicals, heavy metals, and radioactive elements. Though most contaminants meet legal limits, they often exceed health-based safety standards. Experts warn of long-term risks like cancer, immune system damage, and developmental issues. A major concern is forever chemicals found in the water of 143 million people. These persistent toxins take decades to break down. Other dangerous pollutants include nitrates, arsenic, and volatile organic compounds. EWG calls for stricter regulations, saying outdated federal laws leave millions at risk. Safe drinking water is a fundamental right, said Melanie Benesh from EWG. Experts urge urgent action to strengthen water safety standards and protect public health. The U.S. will spend $1 billion to stop bird flu and lower egg prices. Bird flu has hit poultry farms hard, cutting egg supplies. Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins announced a comprehensive strategy to combat avian influenza and make eggs affordable. Rollins said families are seeing egg prices of $6, $7, $10 or more due to continuing outbreaks of the avian influenza. The U.S. will also import eggs, including 15,000 tons from Turkey by June. Rollins said the plan won't fix things immediately, but should stabilize the egg market in 3 to 6 months. Billionaire Elon Musk has warned the U.S. will go bankrupt if spending is not reduced. Speaking at President Donald Trump's first cabinet meeting, Musk, who leads the Department of Government Efficiency, stressed that the country cannot sustain $2 trillion deficits. Wearing a MAGA hat and a tech support t-shirt, Musk said interest on national debt now exceeds defense spending. He vowed to cut $1 trillion in waste and fraud, aiming for a 15% budget reduction. Musk admitted DOGE will make mistakes, but promised quick fixes. He cited the brief cancellation of Ebola prevention funding, which was restored swiftly. Musk claims that he has been facing death threats for his work. However, he insists that cost-cutting is essential to prevent economic collapse. A group of 103 migrants deported from the U.S. to Panama is refusing to return to their home countries. Most are from Afghanistan, Pakistan, China, and India. Panama Security Minister Frank Abrego confirmed the refusal at a press conference. Some held signs reading, "Please help us," and "We are not safe in our country." The migrants are staying in a hostel in San Vicente, Darien. Meanwhile, 101 others have returned home, with more departures planned soon. The International Organization for Migration is arranging relocation for those refusing repatriation. A Chinese national tried to escape but was recaptured in Costa Rica and sent back to Panama. Panama reports a drop in migration through the Darien jungle. Only 2,607 people crossed in 2025, a sharp decline from 66,303 last year. In Colombia's Necoclí, migrant numbers have fallen from 1,000 per day to just 60. Authorities say tougher U.S. migration policies have led to a reverse migration trend. Muslim communities in London are demanding better security after a series of Islamophobic attacks. Between January 6th and 25th, mosques, community centers, and a school were vandalized with anti-Muslim graffiti. With Ramadan about to begin, faith leaders are urging authorities to step up protection for worshippers. The Metropolitan Police confirmed they are investigating multiple incidents as hate crimes. One of the targeted sites, Leighton Jamia Masjid, had its windows defaced with "Stop Islam" on January 23rd. Local officials acted quickly, removing the graffiti the same day. Labor Minister Calvin Bailey visited the mosque to show support. Police have collected CCTV footage and deployed a faith police inspector. Mosque chairman Shabir Hussain called for additional security, saying the community remains peaceful despite the attacks. The incidents have heightened fears of rising Islamophobia in the UK. A recent survey found that 1 in 4 British Muslims face hate crimes after far-right riots last year. Manzoor Hussain, who oversees children's education at the mosque, warned that worshippers feel vulnerable. "Ramadan is coming and we are worried about safety," he said. Community leaders urge authorities to act before further attacks. Thailand has deported 40 Uyghurs to China, ignoring warnings from the US, the UN, and rights groups. The men, held in Thailand since 2014, fear torture upon return. Activists reported several trucks leaving a Bangkok detention center early Thursday, heading to the airport. A flight tracking app later showed a plane landing in Chinese-occupied East Turkestan, commonly called Xinjiang. Thai officials initially refused to confirm the deportation. Later, police chief Kitrat Penpet admitted that 40 people had been sent back. China also confirmed the deportation, but called them illegal immigrants. The U.S. criticized Thailand's actions, urging respect for non-refoulement, a law preventing forced deportations to danger. Rights groups called it a violation of international and Thai laws. Opposition lawmaker Kanawi Suebsung demanded answers, calling the move a human rights violation. A Thai court had been reviewing a petition to free the detained Uyghurs. A hearing is set for March. However, the deportations happened before a decision. In 2015, Thailand sent 109 Uyghurs back to China, sparking global criticism. The United Nations has warned of worsening famine conditions in Sudan, with conflict pushing millions deeper into crisis. Edem Wosornu, director at the Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, or OCHA, said more than 24.6 million people are facing acute hunger. She said at Zamzam displacement camp, which is estimated to be hosting hundreds of thousands of civilians, famine conditions have been confirmed. She added that civilians, including humanitarian workers, had been unable to leave the North Darfur area and many were killed, including at least 2 aid workers. She confirmed that the World Food Program has suspended food assistance in the camp. Wosornu urged immediate international action for the protection of civilians, unhindered humanitarian access, and increased funding. The Sudanese army and the Rapid Support Forces have been fighting a civil war since April 2023 that has killed more than 20,000 people and displaced 14 million. Research from U.S. universities, however, estimates the death toll to be approximately 130,000. That's all from our Toronto studios. Thank you for watching Muslim News. We are a community channel dedicated to bringing you stories you can trust. Please like, share, and subscribe to our content. You can also comment to let us know what you think of our coverage. You can donate now by visiting muslimnetwork.tv/donate. For more content, keep watching Muslim Network TV. Salam.